Did you know that for this movie, James McAvoy purposely didn't watch the original Danish Speak No Evil so that it wouldn't influence the interpretation of his role? So I was pretty excited to see this movie, Speak No Evil, just based on the trailers and just knowing James McAvoy's just really great acting abilities. I knew this movie was going to be great. I knew it was going to be just super tense and super fun to watch. I just have a lot of great things to say about this movie. There's only one little minor thing that I didn't like, but I'll save that for the end of this review. The first thing I loved about this movie was the pace, and the build-up of tension was superb. I loved the atmosphere that was created in the beginning. It drew you in. It was pretty relatable. Just getting away from everyday life, going on vacation, meeting some people, and they turn out to be super friendly. And of course, you want to connect with people. You want to learn about cultures and, be nice and respectful. I just like how this movie kind of exploits that weakness of they're not super familiar with the area. So like, if there are people there who will offer to show them around, make them feel more comfortable, why not? And then the great buildup of tension. And you could tell right away, like, there are little times here and there, Patty and Kiara were acting weird. They were, kind of breaking that pattern of, we're just going through the movie, and then they break a pattern with something out of nowhere. And then it's just kind of giving you hints and hints and hints, and eventually it starts adding all of this stuff up together to the big climax of the movie, and it was just so well done. I was just on the edge of my seat for a good majority of the movie because I knew something was going to happen. I knew something bigger was going to happen, something weirder was going to happen. The performances in this movie were really great. I enjoyed Ben and Luis's characters. They're just, they did a great job portraying the characters that they're supposed to, and just how a normal person would react to such things, right? You have like the normal versus the abnormal. They are acting like most people would act in this situation. They did a great job of just really letting their emotions out, really just portraying how you would react to people like Patty and Kiara. And then of course you got Kiara and Patty, who are, basically like two peas in a pod. They're both equally broken, they're both equally psycho, but they're very, very good at manipulating people. They are so good at lying. I mean, there are a few points in the movie I still don't know if they're even telling the truth about what they do, because they lied so well and so convincingly the entire movie. I may be biased a little bit towards James McAvoy, but I have to say his performance in this movie might be one of his best. I loved him in Split. He really started to show his acting ability off in Split, but I think he stepped up another level. Because honestly, the best part of the movie was watching James McAvoy just go all in. I swear some of it was method acting. The great thing about James McAvoy in this movie is he didn't even have to say a whole lot. I mean, he had great lines, he had a lot of great things to say, but really what made his character so scary good was his face. His facial reactions were incredible. It actually reminded me a little bit of Jack Nicholson, specifically his character in The Shining. His character in The Shining didn't actually have a whole lot of lines. It was all in the face. Facial, anything to do with the face speaks volumes that any words could speak. And you just watch James McAvoy's face throughout the entire movie. Incredible. I honestly, if I had my way, I would give him an Academy Award for his performance in this movie. I don't think this movie is even going to be nominated for anything. That'd be really awesome if it did, but I just gotta say, in my book, he's already won an Academy Award for his performance because it was skin-crawlingly good. And then lastly, this whole movie hinged upon social norms. No matter where you are in the world, there's always going to be societal norms. There's always going to be a way of going about things, speaking to people, raising kids, disciplining kids, whatever it may be. There's always going to be that normalcy, the way most people do it, right? So the movie here was meant to make us uncomfortable. It kind of challenged those social norms, and I love that. Like when you see perspectives from Ben and Luis's way they were raised, how they were raising their kid, versus Patty and Kiara and how they were raising their kid. So like you see both sides, and then, there is no one way to raise a kid. For the most part, there are the common conventional ways to raise a child, to interact with people, to just be a normal person. Don't just say weird things that make people uncomfortable, or act and do weird actions that make people uncomfortable. And this movie was chock full of that. I mean, there were a few moments in the movie, I loved how uncomfortable it made us feel. Like it just went into your face. You could feel it. You were feeling the uncomfortableness throughout the entire movie. I mean, who wouldn't feel uncomfortable being around people you don't even know, and then finding all these dark secrets about them? The only thing I didn't like about this movie is the trailer ruined a huge plot twist in the movie. If the trailer hadn't spoiled that moment, I would have loved this movie even more. The stupid trailer ruined it, and I can see where the people who made the trailer are coming from. If a lot of people who've seen the original, they already know the big plot twist. Well, unfortunately, I didn't see the original, so like already knowing what the huge plot twist was with the kid Ant, it really ruined a lot for me, honestly. It really ruined it for me, but I just don't like when trailers do that. That's the only thing I got against this movie. Highly recommend see this movie as soon as you possibly can. So for Speak No Evil, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. Remember, leave me a thumbs up and a drop in the comments below. What's your favorite James McAvoy movie? See you next time.